I'm gonna be more healthy.
I'm gonna read more. I'm gonna work out more. Yeah, I need to work out more.
Research has shown that half of adults make New Year's resolutions, and less than 10% of those people actually keep them on for a few months. We make plans, we write in our diaries, we make lists, all in the hope, promising ourselves this year will be better. We say things to ourselves, this year will be my year. Deep down inside, we know if we make these changes, we will be better off. But some of us fall off the New Year's resolutions wagon and continue down the path of doing what we've always done before, because it's incredibly easy to put things off until tomorrow. Why is that? In this video, I'm going to explore the problems with setting New Year's resolutions, and we're going to explore how to make a real change, one on a level that goes beyond coming up with a version of a whole new you. New Year's is a time of celebration, looking back on our past year, wanting to make the next year better. We have the intention of making goals, labelling them New Year's resolutions, because it's done as a passing thought, one that enters your mind or something that you might do. And the lead up to Christmas doesn't help, as we usually slow down and some people actually just completely write off December, giving them more of an excuse to indulge in their bad habits before making that New Year's resolution in January. And we go on to tell ourselves not to worry, in Jan, I'm going to make a change. It's quite funny because we treat New Year's resolutions just like a checkpoint within a game. It reminds us that we need to set a New Year's resolutions, or we are forced to make some change because things can be better. I mean, why do we wait 364 days in order to make a change to our lives? Let's take the gym for example. November and December are quite quiet months, especially in December. But in Jan, there's an influx of new faces and you're struggling to get a bench or get some space on any type of machine. Come January and February, those numbers slowly start to dwindle down and those new faces disappear. On average, 80% of people who join the gym in January quit within 5 months. So let me explain why I'm not a fan of setting New Year's resolutions. During this time, there's a huge amount of pressure to make a change, whether it's wanted or not. And we make these big, overly ambitious resolutions, usually making them as a measuring tool of how much we need to improve our lives. And they're often done in a panic with the expectation that we're gonna have this wild transformation in Jan. But that doesn't usually happen because with change takes time. And here's the problem, big change doesn't happen within 1 month or even 2 months. They require consistent action over a period of time. But I guess it's a good thing, right, that we're all optimistic, wanting to get things done. But unfortunately, the majority of these goals fall under something called the false hope syndrome, which basically is categorized by a person's unrealistic expectations about the likely speed and the amount of ease and consequence of changing their behavior. So here's how I like to treat the end of the year. In some workplaces, there's something called appraisals. It's a chance to talk about and analyse your performance of your work in the last 6 months or the year. Well, this is what I do for my goals. So when you get a chance, sit down, get a pen and notepad and write down what's gone well and what you could do better. I would even go as far to say, this type of review could be done quarterly. You could also make a note of your biggest accomplishment, your challenges and the lessons that you've learnt. As I've mentioned before, change doesn't happen in an instant. And with change, it's usually done best when it's sustainable. I know myself, I have a tendency, if I have a new goal, I want to go all in and I want to do it now, which isn't sustainable in the long run. It won't last. You'll probably end up burning out. Over time, enthusiasm will fade. So it's best starting small before you go big. Consider Mark Zuckerberg. One of his New Year's resolutions that he shared on Facebook was that he wanted to run 365 miles in 1 year, the equivalent to running over 10 marathons. Zuckerberg set up a Facebook page and invited fans to join his quest. He pointed out 365 miles is only 1 mile per day, which is approximately only 10 to 12 minutes per day. He broke down his goal into bite-sized pieces. Try and base your goal on something positive as opposed to basing it on some sort of resistance or some sort of refraining from something. The most common New Year's resolutions is to eat healthier. So instead of telling yourself you can't eat this or you need to totally remove something like chocolate out of your diet, say to yourself, you can have those things, but in moderation. You need to see this more as a lifestyle change. The go big or go home mentality when setting New Year's resolutions only sets you for a higher fall if you were to fail. Focus on setting a goal that is related to personal growth or makes you happy. It's easy to fall into the trap of setting superficial goals of wanting that latest new car or wanting that extra big house or that promotion at work. And that brings me on to my next point. Make sure you really want this goal down to your core. It's something that you actually really do want. Because if you're doing this for any external reasons, it won't stick in the long run. You just won't keep up with it. So think about what's important to you. What do you value most? What nourishes you and excites you? What makes you feel like a better person? Now look at where you spend your time, money, and energy. Are you putting your money where your mouth is? Do your actions match your words? Are you living one reality while dreaming of another? Don't make too many New Year's resolutions. It's tempting at this time of year to do a completely 180 and put a lot on our plates, especially when it hasn't been the best of years. It's far more easy to stay on track with fewer goals on your list. I would personally stick to 1 or 2 which you could really laser focus on. But it's important at the end of the day to give yourself some credit. I mean, we've come this far, haven't we? Hopefully 2021 will be full of new opportunities to work on yourself. For most, 2020 has been the most catastrophic and chaotic years than we've ever experienced. I encourage you to think about the positive things you could bring into this year. Most of all, say goodbye to last year. That has gone. And prepare yourself for better days, as I'm sure they will come. Anyways guys, that's the end of the video. Please smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. If you have anything to say, please comment below. If you want to receive notifications of my next video, please hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in another one. Bye bye.